Welcome to the April 10th, 2024. Oh my God. It's one of those days. Thank you. Welcome to the April 10th, 2024 Board of Trustees meeting. The time is 1:30 p.m. If you'll please stand, join me into allegiance. Allegiance to the flag. United States of America. And to the republic. Great, thank you. It's nice to be down on the Fort Worth campus today. And we'll start with the approval of the agenda. That's from motion and vote.
I move to approve the agenda as written.
Thank you. The motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Consent agenda, there is one item, the minutes of the March 6, 2024 district board meeting. If you've gotten a chance to look at those, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the minutes from March 6th.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Normally we would take public comment. Board of Trustees always encourages the general public to provide comments directly related to the business and operations. We do not have any comments today. I think we're still, thank you. Okay, so we'll get right into our presentations. The first person is Kelly Jackson, our Executive Director of the Foundation, Excellence at Ames.
Good afternoon, am I on? Can't hear. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, President Ornstein, and audience. It's always a pleasure to bring a student forward because they're as exciting as what we get to see on campus afterwards. And when I'm not the one asking or inviting the individual to come up and then they show up that day, it's like, oh, this is our student, this is awesome. So today we introduce Grant Hall. He is a recipient of the UNC Entrepreneurial Challenge Finals Winner Award. He is a proud Ames 2023 alum, a business degree recipient. He has continued on to receive his UAS basic certification, which if you don't know what that means, it's the drone program.
Fancy word.
Fancy word, unmanned aircraft. He is also the founder of Martian Media. And this fall, he will be heading to Boulder. So with that, I'm gonna let Brandon share his amazing journey. Before he closes though, I do wanna mention that I have shared a Google Drive with all of you, so you can actually see the videos he creates. So enjoy this presentation now and later.
Well, thank you for your introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, trustees, cabinet members, esteemed guests. My name is Grant Hall, founder of Martian Media. I graduated Ames last May of 2023. Thank you so much for having me. Today, I'm excited to share with you my journey, a story of how a confused high school graduate found purpose, clarity, and excitement in continuing his academic journey through Ames. Let's rewind to the beginning. As high school graduation approached, I found myself uncertain about my future path. However, I had always been drawn to business. One day during my unmanned aerial systems design and engineering class, where I learned how to build and fly RC aircrafts, my instructor informed the class that he'd be leaving to continue his teaching journey at Ames Community College. My first reaction was sadness for the students in grades below me because they were about to lose such an awesome instructor. But this got me thinking, Ames, perhaps that could be my next step. So that's already having some current enrollment classes through Ames, I thought maybe I could use some of those credits and finish an associate's degree there. So that's exactly what I did. Upon starting at Ames, I still lacked a clear end goal. Yet I gravitated towards the business program, curious to see where that would lead. Knowing my old teacher was starting an unmanned aerial systems aerial system program here, I decided to join the UAS operations team to further my knowledge of drones. During my first semester, I stayed busy learning about the business world and getting hands-on experience with different RC aircrafts and drones. From mastering drone regulations to becoming a Part 107 licensed FAA certified drone pilot, I quickly found myself conducting drone surveys and inspections for state and county projects. While all of this was going on in my ops program, I was simultaneously making progress in my business courses. What made these programs truly exceptional was the emphasis on hands-on experience and real-world applications right from the start. At the beginning of my semester, my business professor made everyone in the class choose a sector of business that they wanted to work in or that they wanted to start, a business they wanted to start. So then each project and assignment from there revolved around that business. We had to put meticulous thought and purpose into our studies, always relating what we learned in our coursework to how to apply it in the business that we chose. I had 100 different businesses that I wanted to choose for this task, but instead I chose to relate it to something that I had knowledge in, drone industry. As my coursework progressed into my second semester, the business I initially chose just to satisfy a requirement began to evolve into a tangible opportunity. All of my business studies and drone experience started correlating together. I saw a gap in the market. So the culmination of both skills I was learning in my business classes and the UAS department, I decided to take the risk and start my own business. Thus, Martian Media was born. A full-service drone company that specializes in revolutionizing the client experience for hotels, resorts, commercial real estate, realtors, TV, film, and more. We use small, custom-built first-person view drones to create seamless tours of any property. For example, during our real estate shoots, we create dynamic tours that allow you to fully immerse in the property as if you were truly there. 1 second, you're walking through the front door, a minute later, you're gliding over the kitchen table. These small drones allow us to get to hard to reach spots, like up vaulted ceilings, around chandeliers, and through small gaps, giving the viewer a true feel of the size and scale of the property. At Martian Media, our mission is to elevate brands to the immersive power of aerial storytelling. Without the guidance and support of Ames and its faculty, I would have never been able to start my own aerial production company. I must give special recognition to the two professors who single-handedly skyrocketed my success in and out of the classroom. That is Jake Marshall, my UAS instructor, and Jennifer Markowitz, my business instructor. Their belief in me and dedication to my success instilled a sense of purpose and direction that I will forever be grateful for. I'm still so grateful for every professor I had because they were all so amazing and taught me so much. During my final semester at Ames, I found out about this competition for students with business ideas. I told Professor Markowitz about the competition, and she jumped up, immediately excited. I was like, "You have to join, you're going to win." So as nervous as I was, I decided to join the University of Northern Colorado's Entrepreneurial Challenge, which is an annual startup venture competition hosted by the Montfort College of Business. Both Marshall and Markowitz believed in my business and helped me perfect my pitch. I competed in the collegiate division against a dozen other students with different business ideas. I made it to finals and ended up placing first overall in the competition, bringing the win home for my business and Ames. Without Ms. Markowitz's excitement and belief, I wouldn't have been able to succeed. One of the greatest things I learned at Ames is how to go all in and fail, but to fail the right way. An experience that always reminds me of this was one time when I crashed in front of a New York producer during one of the Ames UAS Ops toured commercial shoots. I was in a forest surrounded by huge tall pine trees with a dirt road that went under all the trees. I was getting my FPV drone set up and ready for takeoff, with the producer standing right next to me. He was so excited to get the shot. It was the end of the day and he was waiting to capture it. He was holding an iPad that had a live feed of my drone, and I was wearing VR goggles that allowed me to see what the drone sees. The car is in position and ready to start driving. I tell them, "Drone pilot ready." The next thing I hear is action over the radio. I take off and do a 180 to turn the drone around, and right behind me is a tree branch I couldn't see. I smash right into it and the drone comes crashing down from the sky. The producer doesn't even look at me. He just hands me the iPad he was viewing on and walks away. Immediately my heart dropped. At that moment, I could very easily have been like, "I'm done flying drones and have never flown again." But instead, I kept practicing, kept my head high, and it led to 2 more future shoots with Toyota and that same producer in the following semesters. As Confucius once said, "A man is not great because failure has because he hasn't failed. A man is great because failure hasn't stopped him. So, with all of that being said, I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of you. Without meetings like these, Ames wouldn't be what it is today. I'm so grateful for the opportunities Ames has given me, the lessons it has taught me. Without Ames, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. Go our Larks.
No,
Grant, we are so excited that you came here and shared your experience, your past experience with Ames, and then your future. Sounds like you have a bright future, and we really are very pleased you came to show us. It's just a token. So you're
Thank
excellent
you
at
so
Ames,
much.
very much. Congratulations.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with our representatives to the board. We'll start with our SGA, Student Government Association. Very Polito.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board, cabinet members, Chair Shaw from Dr. Warrenstein. I appreciate being able to share this time with you. Student life has really been gearing up for the end of this semester. It's crazy that there's only a month of classes left. Pretty excited though. Last month, a group of our SGA members, we had the opportunity to attend a National Student Advocacy Conference in Washington, DC. They got to dive into breakout sessions on different topics such as the Pell Grant and FAFSA, as well as have discussions with our state representatives. Additionally, last Monday, SGA had the honor, I say honor very heavily because this is huge to the students, but had the honor of hosting the Ames Little Book of Recovery launch party. The turnout was fantastic. We handed out over 100 signed copies to students. I saw students in tears. Numerous students were coming up to Danielle, thanking her for the project. It was a very impactful project, and we're all very happy that it came to fruition. SGA will be hosting our last town hall of the semester on the Fort Lufkin campus here, April 18th from 11 to 1. We're really looking forward to connecting a little bit more with the Fort Lufkin students here, and just hearing what they have to say. It's been a little while since we've been able to be back at this campus earlier this year. So to end the semester out with Fort Lufkin, I feel like the long lost campus. So that would be cool to be here to collect their feedback and get some ideas from the students. Another big exciting one that I'm excited for is happening tomorrow, which will be the Pizza with the VPs. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity for students to get a face-to-face contact with the VPs. Also for the VPs to get face-to-face contact with our students. Students are going to be able to ask questions, gain a deep understanding for the college's leadership team. They're gonna pizza with the VPs. We're gonna have pizza. We have some good questions that we've been trying to brainstorm amongst the students. Some of them are pretty fun and really looking forward to hearing. And then also this Friday, Student Life is hosting a transition lunch for our new team. This is going to be a special opportunity for our current team to meet with the new oncoming team to hopefully pass up just all of our knowledge and create a strong start for the next semester. And then CAP will also be hosting the Ames Annual Spirit Week for April, and it's going to be the 15th through the 19th. We're going to have all the days posted in the TP. So everybody's encouraged to participate. Each day is going to have a different dress-up day and a different theme. It's kind of fun all around campus, so the more people involved, the better. But on that note, thank you for your time. And does anyone have any questions?
Any questions? Two quick comments. You mentioned Danielle Irwin. She did a great job at that, and she will be the MC at our 11 a.m. commencement.
That is correct.
And Jared, you will be the MC of our 3 p.m. Okay, next up, we have our Ames Faculty Association, Ryan Maida.
Fair thought, trustees, Dr. B, cabinet members and guests, thanks for letting me be here again today. My theme for today's report is inspiration and dedication. In this month's written report that you guys all received, you're not gonna find any conferences that anybody attended, no papers being published this time, no awards being won, no new degrees or certificates being earned, and no big presentations being made. And as you read through it, you may have wondered why, and rightfully so. The most challenging and difficult time of the college year is that stretch between spring break and finals. This is the time where our faculty steps away from a lot of their projects and activities and crawls down to the trenches to be with their students. Ames has a recognition program that you have heard about called the Ripples in Recognition. This is a place where Ames employees may be recognized by peers or students for going above and beyond the call of duty. Sometimes, as you guys probably know, it's really hard to get people to go and seek out the process and nominate their peers. But as you can imagine, it's even a greater feat, and so in our opinion, even a greater honor when students seek out that process to recognize their professors who are going above and beyond. Campus-wide, through all the departments, we average 21 ripples every month. In the month of March, there were 31 ripples given to faculty alone, and nearly every one of them was from a student. I believe that speaks highly of the work that's being done by your faculty. Many of these are what have made your guys' monthly report, but since our submission is so early, there are several that came in afterwards, and there's one that I would like to highlight and read to you today. This ripple was given to Ms. Tracy Geary, who teaches in our health science program. Tracy was first hired on as an adjunct instructor in 2000, and many years did the hours of a full-time instructor while being part-time. A year ago, she was finally able to be added to our full-time team. I'll read the ripple. Tracy embodies the very essence of selflessness and diligence, consistently going above and beyond to contribute positively to the lives of those around her. With an unwavering commitment to service, she devotes her time and energy tirelessly, ensuring that her students are equipped with not only the requisite materials, but also the personalized attention they need to excel. Her dedication to their success knows no bounds, as she is willing to take on additional tasks, responsibilities, and hours, even when her plate is already brimming. What sets Tracy apart is not only her willingness to help, but the genuine enthusiasm and care that she brings to every interaction. Whether it's through crafting engaging lesson plans, providing one-on-one guidance, or simply lending a listening ear. Tracy's patient presence and the educational spirit is both uplifting and transformative. Her empathy and understanding create a supportive environment where students feel valued and empowered to reach their full potential. Beyond her role as an instructor, Tracy serves as a beacon of inspiration for her colleagues and peers. Her tireless work ethic sets a high standard for professionalism and dedication, motivating others to strive for excellence in their own endeavors. In collaborative settings, Tracy's willingness to collaborate and share her expertise enriches the collective knowledge base, fostering a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement. In essence, Tracy's impact extends far beyond the classroom walls. Her spirit and unwavering commitment to the betterment of others makes her not only a great instructor, but also a cherished mentor and role model. Working alongside Tracy is an enriching experience characterized by warmth, encouragement, and a shared passion for fostering growth and success. Inside of your guys' ripples, I just want to highlight a few things. As we read about our instructors that we have here at Ames, some of the things that people say, so incredibly intelligent and knowledgeable, not only in their field, but with so much more. Her dedication to her students and jobs inspires me to do more. He is always willing to explain everything and answer any questions, not to mention he is hilarious. She was a breath of fresh air. She is kind, personable, knowledgeable, and I was never afraid to ask for help from her. An amazing professor and mentor. Consistently demonstrated exceptional dedication and commitment to her students. She is steadfast in recognizing, encouraging, and in recognizing and encouraging the potential in her students. She injects creativity and excitement into what could have been a very dry and tedious topic. She is always going out of her way to help you no matter what. She is there to listen as well as to guide in the best way that they possibly can. She is supportive, responsive, and provides plenty of resources to help you succeed. Her warm, caring approach has made all the difference. She is not only a mentor to students, but a role model to students aspiring towards a career in the medical field. She goes above and beyond. He is adept at helping students think for themselves, and his real-world experience makes him an invaluable resource to have while wading through the dry content. He makes the learning process fun and enjoyable. He is a very down-to-earth dude. She has the biggest heart of anyone I know. She has a huge impact on me as a student, and truly, if it were not for her, I would have dropped out of college and never worked hard to pursue my dreams. She believed in me when I did not believe in myself, and I know that she has also done that and had that impact on many other students. He planted a seed of hope. These are your faculty that served you guys at Ames, and I'm proud to be able to share their stories and just the great comments and the things that our students are saying about your faculty. So thanks for allowing me to brag a little bit about our amazing faculty that we have, and thank you guys for your continued support of our faculty. Any questions? All right.
Thank you, Mel. Like having time with that, with your inspiration and dedication. Very nice. Thank you. Next up is our AIM Staff Association, Ross Perkins.
Good afternoon, Chair Shaw, Dr. Lee, Board of Trustees, cabinet colleagues. I think I'm one too many charters out there. I need to go for a little bit longer walk than I did earlier. So, well, it's a pleasure to be out here on campus to celebrate what staff has been doing this past month. As we get to the end of the semester, things kind of start wrapping up. And some of the events that we've been planning are starting to come to fruition, so we're pretty excited about that. Before we get started though, I wanted to give a big shout out to Kelly Jackson and her team. Kelly? We have been working with them to develop our College for Kids scholarships through the ASA. And just recently we gave out 8 scholarships for a total of $600 for staff, their kids or nephews or grandkids. We kind of extended that out, as I talked about last time. So $600 will be going out to support the College for Kids. So we're pretty excited about that. We're hoping to be able to continue to grow that and expand that in the coming years and stuff. The second thing that ASA has been working on is our policy and procedures. There you go. So I want to give a shout out to Megan Blazer, Margaret Dempsey, and Laura Flood. This is the small working group that has been putting this together. They have been going through our policy and procedures and taking out definitions and everything. If you were a college counsel on Monday, you know that that's insightful. But they've done a great job, and I want to just give thanks to Dee Schultz for her leadership, for ASA, for helping us kind of navigate some of the things that we're trying to figure out what our scope is. And as we kind of work through this process. And so I want to thank Dee for that conversation yesterday. We had probably one of the best conversations all year with Dee yesterday. Was that yesterday?
It feels like.
Wow. And so I talked, I think, last month about one of the activities or one of the things that we're planning. And so it's, if you read in the Ames Daily today, Ames and the wellness team are working, or the ASA and the wellness team are working together to bring the Academy of Natural Therapy massage to all the campuses. So I would highly recommend that you jump on the Ames Daily right now, pause for dramatic effect, and sign up for your massage. So massage, there's dates and times. We'll have multiple places on the different campuses, so you can get a complimentary massage from the wellness team and ASA. So we're pretty excited about that. One of the other things that ASA has been doing, this past month or the past couple of weeks is attending the Ames Proclamation Days at different city councils. That's been just incredible. This is, I believe, Community College Month, and we're celebrating Ames. I've had the opportunity to sit in 2 of those, and it's just been really nice to be recognized by the communities that you serve and just to be recognized for all the work and things and the connections that we have in the community. So we've had several of our ASA members join those, and so pretty excited about that. And the last thing, as I always like to do, just remind me to read the articles. Okay, thank you very much. Any comments or questions?
High school teams. I was just really amazed at the high school teams, the program teams. And I had no idea that they're serving over 3,000 plus students and over.
Oh, the high school programs?
Oh,
yeah, and the ripples?
I was just blown away. I knew of them, but I didn't know the quantity of the students that they were. So.
There are a lot of high school kids in our program, so it's incredible.
So they're doing a great job, so thanks to them.
Thank you very much. If there's no other further questions, have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we get into our action items. Action item 7A, compensation proposal for FY 24-25. Lee Schultz, our Chief Human Resources Officer and Officer of Employee Services.
Good afternoon, trustees and Dr. Bornstein. Proposing an action item with regards to our compensation for fiscal year 24-25. Last month I presented in the work session and provided an overview of what we do to review and take into consideration a number of factors in making a recommendation for an annual compensation increase. Some of the topics include national workforce challenges, which have impacted Ames recruiting and turnover. Applicant pools for full-time positions have decreased to an all-time record low of an average pool size of 8 this past year, and position vacancies are taking much longer to fill. Due to this review, administration is proposing a 3-step process to support the retention and recruiting efforts, as well as address the current cost of living environment. Step 1 is a 2% placement matrix base increase. Step 2 is a 2.5% cost of living increase. And the third step is a $750 one-time non-base building payout on July 31st, which will be prorated for part-time employees. The fiscal impact is $3.6 million. And therefore, the recommendation is to approve the proposed compensation adjustments.
Any questions or comments?
Thank you for your efforts on this. My question would be is how did you determine the percentages and moving forward?
Yes, as we look at it, we look at the percentage are based on the placement matrix. Those that impact will help us with our recruiting efforts. So we'll raise the job offers we're able to post in our job postings. And then the other percent is based on we look at our cost of living and how we can impact current employees. And so we want to find a balance.
For those of you on Zoom, would you please mute your microphone? We can hear you and your background noise, please. Thank you.
So we try to find a balance to ensure that the current employees are basically getting some retention for continuing to be employed here, but also balance that with new hires who come in.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Trustee O'Hare?
As people make the decision to leave, you commonly hear that it's related to salary or family reasons? What's the most common reason they decide to leave?
It's been across the board since COVID hit. Some of it is compensation, some of it is, we've had a lot of families that have decided to leave the state. Some of it's the cost of living here, they can move to, farther east and the cost of living is cheaper, or there's family. And so COVID really had an impact with individuals that wanted to go and be closer to family. And so we have quite a bit of that as well. So it's a combination. I don't think there's any one leading factor.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
So just to comment, before you take action, that we'll make an edit in the minutes. The one-time non-base building payout will be on July 31st, 2024.
Yes.
It's a very small typo.
Thank you, Regina. Any further discussion? Okay, if not, per administrative recommendation, I would ask for a motion to approve a compensation adjustment as the 3 steps that Dee just outlined for us.
I would make a motion to approve action item number 7A, compensation proposal for 2024 and 25.
Thank you, Trustee O'Hare. Is there a second?
Second?
Trustee Trustwell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Go ahead and move on to our next.
I would
Which is action item 7B, medical and dental insurance premiums for FY 2025, and Julie Schultz.
Thank you. Just a reminder that Ames participates in a compensation health and benefits plan developed and managed by the State Board of Community Colleges and Occupational Education. Ames is a member of the Benefits Advisory Committee, which meets monthly to review claims experience, adjust plan coverages, and complete an annually receive a provider service and rate proposals, and take action on how earnings from the SBCCOE benefit trust which was established in 1983, will be applied to buy down future premium costs for the participating colleges and their employees. Current medical benefits include plan options provided by Anthem and Kaiser, and dental benefits include plan options provided by Delta Dental. Anthem plan was originally proposed at a 9% increase. However, they've reduced their premium increase to 5.1%. With some plan changes, so there'll be some small changes to some co-pays and some out-of-pocket maximums and deductibles for prescriptions. Kaiser will have a 9.5% premium increase with no plan changes. These increases will result in less than $30 per month for the monthly premium increases for employees, depending on the plan that the employee's in, so it could be as high as $30 a month. Currently, Ames provides 100% coverage for employee-only tier and 85% coverage for plus tiers for children, spouse, and family. Open enrollment for employees begins May 1st. Therefore, approval of comprehensive medical and benefit plan premium payments is timely. So administrative recommendation is to maintain the 100% coverage for employee-only tier and 85% for the employee plus tiers.
Thank you. Are there any questions, comments? Okay, if not, I would ask for a motion to approve action item 7B. Motion to maintain coverage for employee at 100% and coverage for plus at 85% for FY 24-25 as presented.
I move to approve the motion as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have item 7C, Distinguished Fellow Award. Trustee Jean Trustworthy.
Yes, you have before you the document that gives background on the Distinguished Fellow Award and outlines the criteria. What I would like to do is highlight a few of those points. I want to share a little bit about the committee process and a bit more about the honoree. There is a summary of the honoree. The criteria, to me, these three really stood out. Long-standing efforts to advance the goals of Ames Community College. Champions and support students, learning and service. And possesses a high level of character, integrity, and leadership. I will share with you that all the nominations certainly met that and all of the criteria. I was honored to be able to chair the committee. And I'd like to share and recognize the names of the committee members, all volunteering their time. Former trustee Ray Peterson, student government and president Jared Polita, faculty and staff members Zachary McFarlane, Sandy Myers, Erin Miyoshi, and Andy Macht. We reviewed the nominations. We provided an opportunity for everyone on the committee. And Jerry, of course, was always there to make sure we kept on track and had the information that we needed. So thank you, Jerry, as always. We really appreciate you. Everyone had time to give their input. We had a robust discussion, I would say. There was no losing in this because the nominations did a great job and it was indeed a difficult decision, but our discussion led to a great discussion and recommendation that you have today. The committee is recommending Randy Southers to be honored in 2024 as the Distinguished Fellow. In addition to what we have written, there's a few other things that I would like to share that were noted in nominations. The go-to guy, passion, never-ending energy, calm, steady, work ethic, patient, generous, admired by all, committed, the guy who was first in and last out during the week, on the weekends and evenings. Leadership, a pillar of fire service, a man who leaves a positive impact on all. So with that, and on behalf of the committee, we would like to recommend that Randy Southers is the 2024 Ames Community College Distinguished Fellow for the year.
First off, I want to thank the committee and the work that everybody's done on bringing this forward for the board for review. Are there any questions or comments? Okay. If not, I would entertain a motion to select Randy Southers as the 2024 Distinguished Fellow, action item 7C.
I'm very happy to approve action item 7C.
Trustee Mandel. And a second.
I'll second it.
Trustee O'Hare, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This is great. Thank you. Next up, we have our information items, and we will be going through our events calendar and the upcoming work session. Jerry, before meetings.
Sure, Sean. So you'll see your packets. We'll start with the calendar of upcoming events. Just as a reminder, the next Board of Trustees meeting will be on May 1st, so on the second Wednesday, we're on Wednesday, celebration meeting. That's a student celebration week. So the long list of events packet. I will focus just on the ones that don't have RSVPs yet from folks, but I certainly can attend one of the events where you are already listed with the members. So just as a reminder, we do have the event pinning ceremony on May 8th at 5:30 to 7:30. And on May 9th, we have the nurses pinning ceremony from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And we have the firefighter academy graduation May 11th and police academy graduation also on May 11th in Windsor campus. So if trustees that have availability there, that would be great. We'd love to have at least one trustee at each of these events. So please let me know. You don't have to let me know. Just let me know. Next, we will cover the annual calendar of events. Looking ahead to the main meeting. See there in your packet on the consent agenda, you'll see a faculty renewals. Then as Chuck mentioned earlier during work session, of budget adoption, faculty consultation, and state appropriation. Action items there. And then a marketing update. Questions from the board? Next up.
Would you like me to read that?
No, I
Next up is some correspondence. What we've received was in our packet as well. There were two pieces of correspondence. One is a letter from the Colorado Knowledge Bowl to thank the events team for all they did to make their event a success. That was some great information about how great the team is working to meet the needs of those customer pieces. That makes sense. And the other card is from the Greeley Area Chamber of Commerce thanking Dr. Bornstein and Ames for being such a major part of the annual chamber. It's always nice to see the correspondence. Okay, next up we have our CEO President's report.
Thank you, Chair Schock. As per usual, there are division highlights in your packets. Just take a moment if you have any questions or comments about any of those highlights. We have cabinet members here to address, so let's take any questions before the first report. Very none, moving on. Dr. Ayler, Vice President of Academic Affairs, would like to present academic program feasibility review and viability. Just as a reminder, this is on the board calendar twice a year as an oversight and monitoring report as to what's happening within our academic affairs area, particularly around program development and review. Dr. Ayler.
Thank you, Dr. Bornstein, Chair Schock, trustees, guests, those watching on Zoom. I'm pleased to share the podium today with Dr. Andrea Cosmo, who is the Assistant Vice President of Academic Affairs and manages the program feasibility review and the viability processes, and she will present the report.
Thank you, Dr. Ayler. Good afternoon, Chair Schock, members of the board, Dr. B, cabinet and guests. As Dr. Ayler mentioned, my name is Andrea DeCosmo. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it's my pleasure to be here today to present you our semi-annual update on program feasibility, review, and viability. Today's update has two parts. The first part of the presentation will focus on new programs that we're currently researching, as well as potential programs that we've considered. Excuse me. The second part will focus on the review of existing programs. So for part one, focusing on new program considerations, when an idea for a new program is brought forward, our CTE program manager runs what we call a feasibility inquiry. We use a jobs outlook database called Lightcast, which provides us with information about the landscape of the career field in our geographic area. And we consider things such as what kinds of jobs will this program lead to, how many jobs in the field are in our geographic area, how many of those jobs are currently open, what's the starting salary, what's the median salary, could this career field lead to jobs in other areas, and what type of degree or certificate is needed in order to enter the field. And after all of that information is gathered, our CTE program manager then loops in the dean
and the chair or the program director of the department where that potential program would be housed. And they review all of the information and discuss and determine if we will either not pursue that program at this time or continue pursuing. And if we do continue pursuing, we enter into what's called a research phase, where we have continued discussions. We loop in our Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Ayler, start proceeding with some initial approvals. And then after the research phase, we move into what we call an implementation phase, which is where we start getting some state level approvals, maybe HLC approvals, and start to design and develop courses. This chart represents all of the programs that have been considered between August of 23 and March of 24, along with their current development phase. And some of these that are a little farther along might look familiar. There are a couple that are in the implementation phase that I believe the board has seen and approved recently. And you'll notice too, we are not pursuing human services. We specifically looked at occupational titles such as counseling psychologists, therapists, counseling, social and community service manager, and our feasibility inquiry revealed that job opportunities in our geographic area are very small. And students are not able to enter the workforce directly with a certificate or an associate's degree. They would have to move on for either a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree for most of the jobs in that program area. So at a later date, we might look into developing maybe a degree concentration that students could earn here and transfer elsewhere to complete their bachelor's. But we will not be pursuing that as a standalone program at this time. The next chart shows all the programs that were presented to the board last year as inquiries that we were researching. Most, you'll notice, are still in the research and exploration phase, but I'd like to highlight the two programs that we are not pursuing at this time. First, American Sign Language. After continued research, we determined that a standalone certificate in ASL would not lead directly to employment. So we may pursue the option for an ASL certification that we might add as maybe a designation or an add-on to a currently existing degree, but we will not pursue it as a standalone certificate right now. And then certified laser technician, after continued research, we determined that there's very low demand for that career field in our area. So the next part, program review and viability of our currently existing programs. Program review is an annual process that we engage in where we collect and analyze program data to identify strengths and opportunities for improvement. We make recommendations, we set goals, we make decisions about our programs in order to ensure we are continually improving them and doing our best for our graduates and our communities. We review our programs to identify needs, set priorities, and future direction. We have around 65 programs that we review every year. The process involves a lot of people and a lot of steps. So here is the highlight of some of the major components of those steps. First, we distribute data and program review questions, and most importantly, the instructions to the department chairs and the program directors. They then take all that information and use it to lead conversations with the faculty in their programs. They conduct their program review using the data that we provided, maybe also digging into some other information that is unique to their programs. They answer their program review questions in narrative form and submit all of that to their dean. Their dean then looks over the program review and may ask for some follow-up questions or get some clarification. Other leaders then within academic affairs, such as Dr. Ayler, Dr. Spezza, and myself, review and discuss as an academic affairs leadership group. This process takes several months. We usually start in July and we wrap up toward the end of December. And we thought it would be enjoyable for you to see some actions that have resulted from our most recent program review. So first, an increased use of external partnerships has led to some stronger instructor recruitment in some difficult to hire areas, specifically in our business and technology division. Our nurse aid and medical assisting programs have started apprenticeships. Our math department is focusing on variable success measures such as pass rates disaggregated by modality, by campus, by race and ethnicity, and they are working on identifying and closing those gaps. Many programs have revised courses and certificates as a result of program review. And then finally, emphasizing marketing and faculty visibility at some student events by our political science program has correlated with an increase in student enrollment. At the end of our program review cycle every year, we do a look back to make any adjustments that we might need for the following year. So this upcoming year, we are going to be working with chairs and program directors to develop some more actionable program data by expanding the different types of data that the chairs and program directors have access to. We're also looking for ways to align program review with other processes that we engage in, such as our CLO assessment process. And then finally, we're working with chairs and program directors right now to reorganize our program review questions into some broad categories and themes to help guide those conversations in the department. So program review is a very big lift. It's critical though that we engage in this process to make sure that we are doing our very best for our current students, our graduates, and our communities. So what questions do you have for me?
Any questions for Andrew?
Thank you.
A lot of work. I always appreciate the detail behind, sometimes I really don't understand the process, but when you pull it all together and the reason, there's a lot of work behind that. And so thank you to the team that does pull that together for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Picasso. We have another annual report. This is actually a new annual report that we'll put into our calendar of monitoring reports. And this is our cybersecurity report. And Blake Ketchum is the director of our information security team. And Blake will tell us a little bit more about this since this is the first time we're going through our annual cybersecurity report. Blake.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair Schock, members of the board, and Dr. Borenstein. My name is Blake Ketchum, and I'm the Director of Information Security within Information Technology. And I'm here to provide you with an annual report of our information security program. This is a new requirement of our GLBA safeguards rule. And the GLBA safeguards is a rule that pertains to the protection of student information, specifically that of student financial aid programs, Title IV programs. And so, as Dr. Borenstein said, this is the first year of this report, and I hope that you find it valuable. So technology plays a critical role in learning, teaching, and our overall college operations. It enhances learning experiences, provides access to information, and provides opportunities for teaching as well. And while technology opens a lot of doors, it also comes with risk if the data entrusted to us by the college community were to fall in the wrong hands. And this represents risks at college: financial, legal, reputational, and regulatory risk. And so the information security program works to prevent those risks from happening. Cyber criminals are always looking to steal information, and they don't care what industry you're in. So schools, hospitals, businesses, everyone is a target. Education, however, is the most impacted sector of any when it comes to cyber threats, and Ames is not immune to that. And so one of the things that we've seen a lot recently is ransomware attacks. This is becoming increasingly important in the educational landscape as schools have been increasingly impacted by this. It's a form of digital extortion where they lock your data and request ransom for it. And so it's very disruptive and it's very costly to recover from, as you saw in the written report. Another threat that education schools that are dealing with is third-party risk. During this reporting period, we had 3 third parties of the college that experienced data breaches. And so Ames wasn't the direct victim of those data breaches, but it did impact data that we shared with those third parties. And so the reality is that ransomware attacks and third-party breaches is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the cyber threats that we face on a daily basis. And so this, combined with the pace of digital change, has caused cybersecurity to become a top concern for colleges and universities today. So our program is healthy, but it's important to know that no one, including Ames, is 100% secure. Cyber risk is one of the many inherent risks in running a college. And so we work to evolve our defenses in light of these threats that I just spoke of to ensure that we're constantly ahead of that. We recently completed many initiatives to help improve our security posture. And recently we had an external assessment that looked at our security program and found our processes in security and risk management to be mature. This is also in line with our internal self-assessment against industry standard cybersecurity practices as well. And so we're confident with where we're positioned, but we know that we constantly need to adapt to stay ahead of the threat environment that we're facing. Our defenses successfully block a constant stream of cyber attacks. As you can see, more than 10,000 per day on average. At the same time, we need to ensure that the college can operate with flexibility and efficiently. So it's always a constant balance for us. And some of these events rise to a security incident. We've experienced 35 security incidents to date. And while most of these incidents were relatively low in severity, there were 3, as I mentioned before, that were a result of our third parties being breached. And these were pretty significant events to us. And so we're constantly assessing our internal and external risks to help to manage and mitigate those risks going forward. And then finally, growth areas. Third parties obviously play a critical role to college operations, and they represent a growing digital presence as well. And so with that comes risk. And as we saw materialize during this last year, especially with the 3 incidents that I just mentioned, and therefore dedicating the appropriate resources to maintain and manage these relationships is increasingly important. Similarly, as our data becomes distributed across more online platforms, our digital presence grows, which will require more safeguards to ensure that that data is protected. And then finally, written policies to adapt to the evolving threats in the regulatory landscape that we're facing will be a key factor in long-term compliance and risk reduction efforts for years to come with college. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions you have.
Trustee Haefel.
I appreciate everything that you and your staff do. I know that you're a lot smarter than I am. I'm glad you're in charge. Yeah, I'd love to. But what I appreciate what you do, but my question is, when you determine the policy, is the policy with Dr. Bornstein, with the cabinet, with John, how is that developed? Is that a standard throughout what you do? Is that something that you come up specifically for Ames? How does that occur, please?
That's a really good question. A lot of our policies are driven by regulatory factors. And so this law, the Grounded Widely Act, is one. And typically, those aren't just developed in a silo. It's typically a committee that gets together and informs that. So we get feedback of others throughout the college to help with that.
Thank you.
Trustee O'Hare.
I think you commented that we have consultant or somebody that's helping us with 10,000 a day. The technology has got to be evolving so rapidly. But did I hear you correctly? We rely heavily on that kind of expertise to keep up with this industry.
Absolutely. We're blessed to have some wonderful staff members here at Ames, but we also do have outside help. One of those is on an annual basis, we have external assessors come in to make sure that we're doing a good job. We also rely on a lot of the same third-party tools that the rest of the college uses as well. So we have third-party security tools that we're able to use in order to ensure that we have a good security posture.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I just know after this last healthcare big breach that happened nationally and how it disabled and disrupted the entire industry, including the end consumer, we can see what happens on a national scale. So thank you for all that you do. This is truly when we talk about the future and that safety and security, this is an area that can create all sorts of trouble. So thank you.
Thank you.
Blake.
Just checking in, you have, president's meetings of note for March, if you have any questions, those with some great shots, you can see trustee Gately progressive in there from Greeley City Council meeting proclamation, as well as, the AFED CEO meeting. Perhaps any questions on the president's report before I move to the next? Have the employee report. If there are any supervisors in the audience that would like to introduce their new employee, would you please step forward to the podium and one person. Anybody?
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Alex Esteban. She is our new controller at the college, and this is her third day. With many years of higher ed experience. Most recently is the assistant controller at the University of North Carolina. We're very pleased to have her, and she's very politically correct. Trustee Haley asked her, "Oh, where did you graduate from?" Did Greeley native? She graduated in Greeley West. What year? Oh, I was a teacher there. And Alex was very little. I heard you were really good, but I couldn't take one of your class.
Thank you.
Any other supervisors? Chair Shop, that concludes the president's report.
Next, we have our reflections and comments from the board members about Ames.
I have several. First of all, I've been out in public a lot, and it's always wonderful when people from Ames are at the events and they introduce themselves to me. That always makes me feel good, and I greatly appreciate their being the faces in our community. The people, whoever does the Ames Daily is a saint. Anybody who can stay on top of that and make sure that all that information is shared. And, oh, I can see somebody smiling. Is that a good smile? Yeah, okay, so thank you. I mean, that's a really hard thing to do, and it shows what a marvelous culture you find on campus, and it just highlights all the things that occur. And then partnerships are one of the main things that make Ames really special. And Kelly and Jordan go out and we're very, very hard at creating friends, and with, you know, we have the new pantry van, and it's currently in negotiations to take care of this. And what is really, really exciting is that we have several groups that are now going to be part of the wrap that goes on it. It's going to be Ames Foundation, Country Kick Up, the Redwood Dance Floor, and Dutch Brothers Coffee. And so whenever you see this throughout Northern Colorado, you need to thank Jordan and Kelly for going out and getting those wonderful partners to make us even more visible as we move on. And then another thing, Will Francis in 1969 went to Ames Community College. And I learned things all the time. And when you talk about the EMT, the police academy, and the paramedics, I guess that they have merit recognitions at each of their graduations, which is really, really exciting. And Mr. Francis has decided to leave Ames in his estate and also give $10,000 a year to those 3 programs. So instead of just a certificate, they will get a set amount of money that will be able to celebrate their successes in those programs. And again, thanks to everybody who are partners with Ames, and Jordan and Kelly, thank you for getting out and doing a great job with our communities.
Any other comments? But I was able to do the town Windsor proclamation. Thank you to everybody who showed up. That was a great night. I think what it showed was that power and that acknowledgement and the partnership that Ames has with the town. I'm gonna call out Mary Gabriel for being the voice. I mean, she truly stepped up and was, there she is, was the voice, and was fun because everybody on the board knew her and kind of called her out. And so between her and the student story, it was powerful. And so again, thanks for that opportunity. It was a great evening.
So I'd like to echo that. I had the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Bornstein, for allowing us as board members to be a part of that, because I think that's important, and it gives us another angle of how we look at things. But was able to go to the Loveland City Council, and I think actually one of the council members had been a graduate of a community college, and we didn't need to say much after between, her testimony about the importance of community colleges and then the student. It was excellent. I just also want to, as a new board member, want to thank once again how the staff responds to us wanting to learn. I was able to spend some time at the facilities and operations and be able to, I had questions about what land do we own, and Mike was able to show me actually maps and whatnot. And so it gives just a good context of, this is how big we are, this is how we're planning for the future. So I just want to thank everyone. I think at every turn, John would echo that, at every turn we ask a question and people are just willing to respond. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I would just like to say, every single board meeting has been every month other than July and August, or June and July, everyone puts in so much effort. There's so much information, and I really am very pleased that of the dedication, the consistency that everyone's putting into all these different items that we have to look and view, and I just appreciate the constant work that everyone's doing, the dedication to this college. So thank you.
Okay.
I'll just make a quick comment on that when we assess the board meeting outcomes, and it says, did we focus on oversight, strategy, and challenges? It's really nice. We do focus on the challenges, but I call them opportunities, because that's what we hear most about, and it really does make it rewarding and fun as a board member to hear about those opportunities and not have to be bogged down on challenges, things that haven't worked, or budget's a little short this year. I think we do a great job of sticking to our goals of oversight, of strategy, and challenges and opportunities.
Thank you for jumping in that. That was perfectly done. Does anybody else have any comments on the assessment before me? Any other words of wisdom for the day? If not, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Let's go ahead. Discussion of the all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned 2:39.